Hello guys, Team True Villains here. I'm here with Nikki.
Hello everyone.
And we are doing the EX08 tier list. You always enjoy this kind of videos, so we thought let's get our inputs here and then you see what you probably should play or shouldn't play in the next format if you want to be competitive. So let's start with the first deck, Minimon. Minimon is always a strong deck with the protection. Then you can like build the deck to counter different kind of decks, which is really nice and makes it versatile. So that's why I would put it in tier 1.5. And the reason for this is to not be tier 2 is, like I mentioned before, you can build it to be strong against specific decks. But this is also the reason why it's not tier 1, because sometimes if you build it against specific decks, for example, with more carries against Fenrilogamon, then it's worse against other decks and such. So it's like always a top meta contender, but not always the best deck, depending on the matchups, of course.
Yeah, we've seen it rock like every top 32 of the nationals. There was at least one or two Three Angels decks. I mean, the deck is really good. It really is a contender for tier 1, but as you explained, it's such a variety that sometimes it's good, sometimes not.
Yeah.
But let's come to a good deck, in my opinion. It's too busted, Fenrilogamon.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing is, it's Glass Cannon, right? So, although it didn't win any nationals yet, or it didn't win any nationals, and it didn't like win many big tournaments, it's still something that you need to be aware of when you play in locals. I mean, many locals winners, at least where we're from, are Fenrilogamon. It's super fast, super consistent. It's You can't stop it really. So yeah, it's just a scary deck, and I think with the new releases, it's gonna be hit. I mean, Takemikazuchi is going to get hit.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah, and also like as we already tested the new format, it's the new decks are kind of getting to more control kind of base and a bit slower. And this is where like Fenrilugamon shines because it can like take the opponent by surprise and such. And I think also it's a really strong deck. But to be honest, um, enjoy it while you can, because I personally think in the next restriction list it will be hit quite a lot. And the reason for this is they, of course, want to sell the new Fenrilogamon cards, like for example the new Ace. And if you read the new Ace and compare it with the old Takemikazuchi, or how it's called, um, it's a lot worse and you shouldn't even play it. So yeah, they will probably change the deck because else you won't buy the new cards.
yeah, that's also my opinion. And talking about Glass Cannon, Blue Hybrid, so the ancient Blue Hybrid. If in my opinion, it's a really cool and strong deck, but it's not tier 1 for any reason. The combo, if you have it like turn 2 and you can bounce something back, you have, I mean, you have such big advantage. But we have not seen this deck like top and win many things, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of it's a difficult deck to pilot as well.
Mhm.
When do you go in? When do you do your stuff? It's got a lot easier to go into Ancient now that Lobamon says if you have a purple Tamer or Digimon card, purple or black, I think, and you can mix it up now quite a lot. Um, so yes, I mean you have so many different builds you can play. It's an interesting deck. I'm not quite sure if it's tier 2 or tier 1.5.
Yeah, I mean, we can put it in the lower end of tier 1.5, just because it's a strong deck. If you get your pieces, you will have an easy time. You also have counters against some specific decks. But the problem with the deck is like you really need to see your pieces. and also multiple times to do the combo. I played against some blue hybrid players or also played it myself. And in some games you have the combo turn 2 and also turn 3 and nothing and nobody can stop you. And in other games like your turn 4 and you're still searching for your pieces. So that's why for me it's not a consistent top meta contender, but of course it's a strong deck.
For sure.
Yeah. So let's go with the next deck, my yellow hybrid Duskmon. No, I mean, of course, purple hybrid. So in my opinion, like in EX08, it's like in the lower end also of 1.5. And the reason for this are the new scramble cards. So if you know them or you played against them, they can stack before your turn starts one card from your graveyard or your trash to the top of your deck. So this means if you get milled to 0 and they still have a Digimon in play, so they didn't have Calling from the Darkness or they used something like Mervamon to mill the last 8 cards of your deck, you can trigger your scrambles and then you can put one card back on top of your deck and you're not dead, which gives you also another turn if you want to go into paladin mode or such. So that's why in my opinion it got a lot worse because of this, but of course it can still do shenanigans, and if the opponent doesn't have scrambles you are good.
Scramble's really strong card. We'll talk about that later. And red hybrid. So we're gonna put this in fun because Paki didn't show up for the video.
Yeah.
Nah, we're kidding. It's a really strong deck. It has so much potential. Even in the future, they announced that Takuya is going to get another tamer, and I really like how Paki cooked the deck with the new Emperorgramon.
Yeah.
And there's so many new possibilities with red hybrid stuff that we got from BT18. And now that we have more cards, I don't think EX8 is going to do this deck any give it any push. But for me, it's absolutely in tier 1.5. The only
Yeah.
downside is it's a glass cannon deck as well. Like you can go in, do damage, and if you don't have any follow-up plays, you lose.
Yeah, and also like you mentioned before, they printing always new Takuyas and new Agunimons. I think it's partially just because Pocky likes to spend money on it.
Yeah.
So they have like one specific buyer. And yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Seven great demon lords. The one the NA
Yeah, the nationals
the
in the
nationals in
USA.
was it USA or Oceania? I don't know. But it won. Like
Yeah.
we saw. Shout out to Donkey Knog, a fellow YouTuber. Good job on your second place. We saw the struggle. He was looking for the Psychmons, but if you don't have the Psychmon, this deck just has always um, always something to counter, right? So if you want to get rid of Lucemon, something comes back. If you delete something, then if they
Mhm.
have the option card delay, they can play something out. So yeah, it's obnoxious to
Yeah.
play against it.
Yeah, I would put it in tier 1 just because like it's a really strong deck. And of course, like it, because you can play basically your big monsters for less, you can adapt and you can also like change the course of control games. So that's why I would put it in tier 1.
All right, now to the real tier 1 deck.
The best one, of
The
course.
best one. Yeah, so it got a bit um, worse now playing against purple because of scramble. The reason is if the opponent now has scramble and you clear their board and you have let's say 2 Mirage on the field and they use scramble to revive Gazimon, they already shut down your Mirage. So then you're blank open for any purple plays, right? They will just destroy you. And that's why, I mean, it's still tier 1, I guess, but
Yeah.
there's now plays around Mirage with Scramble, which makes it really, really difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it still doesn't change the fact that this really strong deck, and of course you can like potentially create so much value.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like if I mean, if you play Mirage and you play against the purple player where they have like a Scramble and the Gazimon in the trash, then of course you can like play around or not go yet into a second Mirage, go the turn after if they decide to bring out
For
Gazimon. So I
sure, for
think
sure.
you
Yeah,
can still do something. So yeah.
that's for sure. How about
Yeah.
Magnamon?
Yeah, I would put Magnamon, the Vmon build in tier 1.5. It's strong, it does its thing, it's nothing special. Yeah, it's just does their things. And also, like, just to mention, guys, before another one just writes in the comments, oh, why did you put it below a red hybrid? In the same tier, we did no ordering, so it doesn't mean that purple hybrid is worse than Dominimon or red hybrid is better than Magnamon. It's just like they're in the same tier and like matchup dependent. Some are a bit stronger and some are a bit worse.
Yeah, for sure. And the deck, I mean, what I really like and what was really difficult to play against in the nationals was the Vmon, I mean the Paildramon line
Mhm.
with the top end Magnamon. This was
Yeah.
really strong. This is something like Galaxy Mirage, but just different, right? So yeah, that was a really strong deck, and that deck
Yeah.
maybe is tier 1.
Yeah, the good thing also about it is like if you didn't play against it, you can go basically into Paildramon, go swing for 2 damage, and then if you have enough memory, because like main tamer setup or something, you can use the option card and digivolve into X antibody, just because it's like also free, and then you can attack. Then that security gets removed, and you can still restand it because it's point then unsuspend this Digimon, which lets you basically check for 4 damage in one turn, which is crazy.
And you'll stun the deck of the opponent, so it's really good.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about Paildramon. I mean Imperialdramon. It's still a strong
Yeah.
deck. No, it's like, I mean, these
Yeah.
two
It,
together combined for me are tier 1. No.
yeah. I mean, combined, of course. Yeah. But let's say like just independent, the
Mm-hmm.
Vmon base and the other, then it's they're like independently tier 1.5 because there are some struggles. Like for example, the pure Imperialdramon deck struggles a lot against Mirage, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you basically can't do anything, you have to draw, which triggers Mirage and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And but I mean, what makes this deck also really good is the option card, the which lets you digivolve. How's it
Yeah.
called again? Yeah, you know, guys, which one we mean. It's
Yeah.
really
The
good. Mm. Now let's come to the new decks. So EX08, and these are the standard decks that you already know. And now come
yeah.
the
The
runner-up
decks
decks.
you have
Yeah.
been waiting for and why you clicked on this video, hopefully.
Yeah. So
And in here, guys,
yeah.
also please leave a like and subscribe. So let's start with the first deck, Beatmon. So I would put it in, yeah, fun. It's a fun deck. It's a cool deck. We will, of course, try it out. We will also try to optimize it, but it's probably not the best deck in this format.
Yeah, I like the what they're doing now with the nature spirits. Now these are NSO, right?
Yeah.
Nightmare soldiers and deep savers. So these are the enemy decks, right, of Liberator.
Hmm.
And I like what they're doing with these. There's fun interaction um, and combos, and Devimon enthusiasts will really like this deck for sure. And I'm also hoping to play it. It looks really fun, but for me, it's something that you can rock in like fun tournaments and have really great fun. But I mean, I think it's nightmare against these decks at the top here. So yeah.
It's just like the other decks are too strong.
Mm. But now to a really strong deck. So they gave Dukemon the power he really deserved, right? So this
Yeah.
card is really strong.
Yeah, the card is crazy strong. I would put it like higher end and tier 1.5, and I think it still gets some support in BT20 if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I think
Or
then it's
like in
gonna
BT
climb
or
up.
BT19.
Mm-hmm.
So there, then it will be like top meta contender tier 1, but now it's has to remain in tier 1.5, but still a crazy strong deck.
Yeah, I mean it's only for a month or so, right? So
Yeah.
it's gonna climb up its way. It's so strong, and what I like is now you really need to watch your memory and how you play with it, and you have now protection, like a lot of protection. So yeah, I'm excited for Gallantmon. Now to a fan favorite deck, I would put Tyrannomon honestly in tier 2. I don't know why, but my feeling says this deck can rock something. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a fun deck. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you're wrong, maybe also not. I mean,
Mm,
and also like guys for here, like just because the deck is tier 2 or fun doesn't mean it cannot win tournaments. Sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you get meta calls, right? And yeah, I mean, try the new Dino deck out. It's really fun, it's really cool.
yeah, it looks great. It's
Yeah,
fantastic. Every Liberator deck looks great. Like from the artwork to what's behind it. You can read the stories about it. You can like have this kind of feeling, and yeah, that's really great. I'm looking forward to playing against this deck.
absolutely. So now let's go to my new favorite deck.
You
The
like pyramids, right?
I like pyramids. That's just why I chose this deck as my new favorite deck. Yeah, yeah, I would put it like probably tier 2. It has potential and everything, but also you can easily counter the deck. Also, like if you trash the Digivolution, of course, there's also like some nice plays where you have like the Digivolve. So if it's get trashed, you can the Digivolve and such. But still, I would say it's a tier 2. But if somebody like finds a really good list, maybe combine it with some other nice card, it can obviously also get higher.
Yeah, so I'm excited to get like OTK'd with the new combo.
Yeah,
It looks really nice.
yeah. And also like it has like really cool cards, like the option cards and everything. But like in our experience, sometimes the option cards, when they seem too cool and too spicy, they don't get played that much
Yeah.
because like they're so situational in yeah.
Also, let's talk about my new favorite deck. So, I really like ice skating, you know. No, I think this
And
deck
ice
is gonna
cream.
be this deck is gonna be lit. This is gonna be a good deck. I don't know if it's gonna be tier 1.5, so I'm like debating can it really go against these decks? I don't think so. But Hexeblaumon is in this deck, so that's like a really strong
Yeah,
card, right?
Hexabao is yeah, it's
Mm,
a really strong card, like, especially against hybrid cards and such.
yeah, so combined with this, I think if you cook, this could be let's put it in the lower end of tier 1.5. I don't think that the tamer is going to help a lot, to be honest. But Scadimon lets you play out Digimon for free, and
Mhm.
going wide is always good. No, like it's playing out for free is always good, I guess. In my opinion, Scadimon could be a contender for future ladders, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So now let's go to Ceresmon. Yeah, probably too fun. It's a cool deck. It's one of the. It has some of the coolest artworks. It's a cool Digimon, but probably not that strong.
Yeah, so I mean the artwork is so good from the alt art, where he takes Garudamon into the deep. Like I think that's from a game, right? And
Yeah, but the sad thing is like cool arts don't win games.
yeah, that's like real sad. And I also think it's fun, and I think you can pop off it with Aegisdramon.
Mhm.
I mean, this is a menace of a card, no? So for sure can win some games, but let's see.
Yeah, and then the last thing we put on, it's not like a real deck, but a card, the medieval Gallantmon, and we say it's not really a deck because if we follow the Japanese meta, you see it gets played in a lot of decks and a lot of different decks, which like basically makes the card itself a tier one. Of course, it depends on where you play it and how you use it, but it's so a strong card. It's like a new version of the Gallantmon from BT13, which can just delete Digimons and such. And yeah, it's also like a pretty important meta contender, which you should learn how to play around or also with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you go wide, he's going to rock you. So
Yeah.
it's a card which I've seen in purple hybrid, in black model control, in many other decks, and just how I mean, it's such a strong card for 7 cost. You get to suspend 2 cards. When you play him out, he sees himself, right?
Mhm.
Else he wouldn't be good. You can delete Digimon, and then you have Vortex to attack. So, ah, I love it. I love this card. I like Terramon and Zephagamon and all this stuff, so I'm gonna play this deck for sure. But
Mhm.
I think this card alone deserves a spot into the tier 1, right?
Yeah, this card alone. So
Mm,
guys, what do you think? Which decks are you gonna play? Or if you want to see specific deck profiles or matches, leave a comment down below. We will then include those matches in our future videos. Then thanks for watching, guys.
and see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.